In a distant galaxy where stars shone brightly and planets danced in harmony, there was a powerful alien queen named Lyra. She ruled over a beautiful planet called Vespera. The people of Vespera loved her for her wisdom and strength. They believed she could protect them from any danger. However, one dark day, their peace was shattered. A cruel enemy, known as the Grathor Empire, invaded Vespera. They wanted to conquer the planet and capture the queen. Lyra fought bravely to protect her home. With her sharp mind and fierce spirit, she led her warriors into battle. But the Grathor were strong and had advanced weapons. Despite her efforts, Lyra was captured and taken away to a dark, cold ship. The people of Vespera were heartbroken. Their beloved queen was gone, and they feared for her safety. The Grathor Empire wanted to use her power for their own evil plans. They believed that if they could control Lyra, they could control the entire galaxy. The queen's loyal subjects, a group of brave warriors, knew they had to rescue her, but they didn't know how. As Lyra sat in her dark cell, she felt a mix of fear and determination. The cold metal walls surrounded her, but her spirit remained unbroken. She thought about her people and how much they needed her. Lyra knew she had to find a way to escape, but as days passed, hope began to fade. Meanwhile, on a small blue planet called Earth, a young man named Alex was living his ordinary life. He worked as a mechanic in a small town, fixing cars and helping his neighbors. Alex loved his simple life, but often dreamed of adventure. He often looked up at the stars, wondering what lay beyond. Little did he know, his life was about to change forever. One evening, as Alex was closing his shop, he noticed a strange glow coming from a dusty old crystal he had found at a flea market. Curious, he picked it up and brushed off the dirt. The crystal sparkled in the fading light, casting colorful patterns on the walls. Suddenly it began to vibrate and emitted a powerful energy. Alex felt a strange pull, as if the crystal was calling to him. Before he could understand what was happening, the crystal burst with light, and Alex was transported to another world. He landed on a beautiful planet filled with lush forests and bright flowers. The sky was a brilliant shade of purple, and 2 moons floated above him. Alex looked around, bewildered by his surroundings. As he tried to make sense of what had happened, a group of alien beings approached him. They had green skin, large eyes, and wore flowing robes that shimmered like stars. They looked at Alex with a mix of awe and concern. One of them stepped forward, a tall figure with a golden crown, and spoke in a soft voice. "Welcome, human." "We have been waiting for you," the figure said. "I am Ilara, the leader of Lyra's loyal subjects. Our queen has been captured by the Grathor Empire, and only you can save her." Alex was stunned. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. "Me? How can I save her?" he asked, feeling a rush of fear and excitement. Ilara explained that there was a special mating ritual that could free the queen from her captors. The ritual could only be performed by a human. It was a bond that would connect Lyra and Alex, giving them both strength and power, but it required bravery and trust. Alex took a deep breath, his heart pounding. He realized this was the adventure he had always dreamed of. He could not turn his back on the queen or her people. "I will help you," he said, determination filling his voice. "I will do whatever it takes to save her." With Ilara's guidance, Alex prepared for the journey ahead. He knew it would not be easy, but he felt a spark of hope. The fate of the queen and her people rested on his shoulders, and he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As they set off toward the Grathor Empire, Alex glanced back at the beautiful planet of Vespera. He knew he had a long way to go, but he felt a deep connection to the queen already. He could not wait to meet her and help her escape. Little did he know, their journey would change everything. Alex stood on the alien planet, still trying to wrap his mind around the incredible journey that had brought him here. The air was filled with strange scents, and the colorful landscape seemed almost alive. He could hear the distant sounds of creatures calling out, and he felt a mix of excitement and fear. Ilara led him through the vibrant forests of Vespera, explaining the urgent need to rescue Queen Lyra. As they walked, Ilara spoke about the mating ritual. "It is not just a bond between you and the queen," she said. "It is a powerful connection that can free her from the Grathor Empire's control. You must understand her heart and mind to make it work." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. He had never thought he would be part of something so important. After a long journey through the forest, they arrived at a large gathering of the queen's loyal subjects. The warriors stood in a circle, their faces filled with determination. They were preparing to send a call for help, and they needed Alex to be part of it. The group gathered around a shimmering crystal, similar to the one that had brought Alex to Vespera. "This crystal can amplify your connection to Queen Lyra," Alara explained. "When we call out to her, you must focus on her spirit and summon her strength." Alex felt a rush of energy as he approached the crystal. He placed his hands on its surface, and it began to glow brighter. He closed his eyes and concentrated, picturing the queen in his mind. He imagined her fierce eyes, her regal stance, and the way she had fought to protect her people. In his heart, he felt a deep desire to help her. As he focused, a warm light surrounded him. Suddenly, Alex heard a voice. "Help me," it whispered. It was faint but filled with urgency. It was Lyra's voice. The connection grew stronger, and he felt her pain and fear. "I am trapped. Please come for me." The other warriors watched in awe as the crystal pulsed with energy. They felt the queen's presence, and hope surged through them. Alara turned to Alex with tears in her eyes. "You have made a connection with her. This is the first step." Just then, the sky darkened as shadows passed overhead. Alex looked up to see enemy ships approaching. The Grather Empire had found them. Panic spread among the loyal subjects, but Alara raised her hand. "Stay calm. We must protect the crystal." Alex's heart raced. He realized they were in danger and time was running out. "What can I do?" he shouted over the chaos. "You must help us defend the crystal," Alara replied. "It is our only hope to reach the queen." Alex nodded, feeling a surge of courage. He had come this far, he couldn't turn back now. The warriors quickly organized themselves, forming a line to protect the crystal. They armed themselves with weapons made from shimmering metal, designed to combat the Grathor forces. As the enemy ships landed, Grathor soldiers emerged, their dark armor reflecting the fading light. They advanced toward the gathering, weapons raised, ready to attack. The air crackled with tension. Alex stood alongside the alien warriors, heart pounding, ready to fight for the queen he had yet to meet. With a loud roar, the battle began. Alex fought alongside the warriors, using all his strength and determination. He ducked and dodged, feeling the adrenaline rush through him. Although he had never fought like this before, he felt the energy of the crystal guiding him. It connected him to Lyra, and he could almost hear her voice urging him to be brave. The warriors fought fiercely, their movements coordinated and fluid. Alara shouted commands, rallying the troops and keeping spirits high. Alex found himself becoming one with them, a part of something much larger than himself. As the battle raged on, Alex focused on the crystal, remembering the queen's face and the call for help. He felt the bond between them growing stronger. He knew he had to protect this crystal at all costs. If they could reach Lyra, they could turn the tide of battle. In the heat of the fight, Alex's determination grew. He was not just a mechanic from Earth anymore, he was a hero, fighting for the fate of an entire planet. Together with the warriors of Vespera, he pushed back against the Grathor Empire, determined to save Queen Lyra and restore peace to her world. Little did he know this was only the beginning of their incredible journey. The battle against the Grathor Empire raged on, but Alex and the warriors of Vespera fought bravely. With each passing moment, their determination grew stronger. They managed to push the enemy back, but they knew they could not celebrate just yet. Time was running out, and Queen Lyra remained trapped in the enemy's stronghold. After the dust settled, Alara gathered the warriors around the glowing crystal. "We have fought well, but we must move quickly. The Grathor will return, and we must reach the queen before it is too late." The warriors nodded, their faces set with resolve. Alara turned to Alex. "You have made a bond with Lyra, and now we must travel to the fortress where she is held. You are key to our plan, and we need your strength." Alex felt a rush of pride and fear. He had never imagined he would be in such a position. "I will do whatever it takes to save her," he said, determination shining in his eyes. The group set off through the dense forests of Vespera, the path ahead winding and full of life. Colorful flowers bloomed, and strange creatures scurried through the underbrush. Despite the beauty around them, Alex felt a sense of urgency. He could almost feel the queen's presence urging him forward. As they walked, Alara explained more about the fortress. "It is surrounded by high walls and guarded by the fiercest soldiers of the Grathor Empire. We must be careful and find a way inside without being seen." Alex listened closely, his mind racing with possibilities. "What if we create a distraction?" he suggested. If we can draw some guards away, we might find a way in. Ilara smiled. That is a clever idea, Alex. We can use the skills of our warriors to create a diversion while you and I sneak inside. The warriors quickly agreed, and they made their plans. They moved closer to the fortress, careful to stay hidden among the trees. The fortress loomed in the distance, its dark walls towering over the landscape. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. The thought of Queen Lyra trapped inside filled him with determination. When they reached a safe spot near the fortress, Ilara signaled for the warriors to prepare. They formed a line, weapons at the ready, and waited for the signal to start the distraction. Alex's heart raced as he glanced at the imposing structure. He could almost hear Lyra's voice calling for help. Now! Ilara shouted, and the warriors sprang into action. They charged toward the fortress, creating a loud commotion. Shouts filled the air as the guards rushed to confront the attackers. Alex watched as the warriors fought bravely, drawing the attention of the enemy away from the entrance. "Come on, Alex! This is our chance!" Ilara urged, and they dashed toward the fortress. The heavy gates stood tall before them, and Alex could see guards watching the battle from the walls. His heart raced as they reached the entrance. They found a small side door, slightly ajar. Ilara pushed it open, and they slipped inside. The air was cold and dark, and the sounds of battle faded into the distance. They moved cautiously through the dimly lit corridors, Alex's heart pounding in his chest. "Where do we go now?" he whispered, trying to stay quiet. "Lyra is held in the highest tower," Ilara replied. "We must find a way to reach her quickly." As they navigated the maze of hallways, they encountered a few guards, but they managed to avoid detection. Ilara led the way, her instincts guiding them closer to the queen. The closer they got, the stronger Alex felt the bond with Lyra. He could sense her presence, and it filled him with hope. Finally, they reached the staircase that led to the highest tower. It was steep and winding, but they climbed quickly, determined to rescue the queen. Each step brought them closer to Lyra, and Alex felt a mix of fear and excitement. When they reached the top, they found a heavy door that was locked tight. Ilara tried to push it open, but it wouldn't budge. "We need to find a key or something to break it down," she said, frustration in her voice. Alex looked around and spotted a nearby window. It was small, but offered a glimpse of the outside world. He could see the chaos below, with their warriors still fighting bravely. He took a deep breath and turned back to the door. "Let's try together," he said, feeling a surge of courage. With a determined push, they combined their strength against the door. It creaked and groaned but held firm. Just then they heard footsteps approaching. "Hurry!" Ilara urged, panic rising in her voice. With one final push, the door burst open and they stumbled inside. There, in the center of the room, was Queen Lyra, looking strong yet weary. Alex's heart soared at the sight of her. He stepped forward, ready to free her from the chains that bound her. "We're here to save you, Queen Lyra," he shouted, filled with hope. Lyra's eyes widened and a spark of joy lit her face. "You came for me!" she exclaimed. Alex felt the bond between them strengthen even more. Together, they would fight against the darkness that threatened their worlds. The journey had brought them to this moment, and they would not fail. Alex stood in the dim light of the tower room, heart pounding with excitement and relief as he gazed at Queen Lyra. Her radiant beauty shone through the chains that bound her. With determination in his eyes, he stepped forward to break her free. "Hold on, Lyra," he said, kneeling down to examine the chains. They looked tough, but Alex was determined. He pulled out a small tool from his pocket, something he had carried from Earth. With careful movements, he began to work on the lock. "Thank you for coming for me," Lyra said softly, her voice filled with gratitude. "I knew I could count on you." Her eyes sparkled with hope, and Alex felt a warmth spread through him. He focused on the task at hand, knowing that their bond would be tested in the ritual that lay ahead. After a few moments of effort, the chains finally clicked open. Lyra stood free, stretching her arms and rubbing her wrists. "We must hurry," she urged, glancing toward the door. "The Grathor will soon realize I am gone." Alex nodded, feeling a surge of adrenaline. "Let's get out of here." Together, they moved quickly down the staircase, retracing their steps. The sounds of battle still echoed outside, but they were determined to escape. Once they reached the lower levels, they slipped outside through the same side door. The chaos of the battlefield met them as they emerged. Alex's heart raced at the sight of the warriors still fighting valiantly against the Grathor soldiers. He felt a rush of pride for the brave people who had come to save their queen. "Lyra, we need to reach the crystal!" Alara shouted from across the courtyard, spotting them amidst the chaos. "It is the key to the ritual." With Lyra by his side, Alex rushed toward the glowing crystal. It stood tall in the center of the courtyard, pulsating with energy. The warriors fought around it, defending it from the Grathor forces. Alara stood at the front, shouting commands, her fierce spirit inspiring everyone. "Form a circle!" Alara called out, and the warriors quickly gathered around the crystal. Alex and Lyra joined them, feeling the energy radiating from the crystal. "This is where the ritual will begin," Lyra explained, her voice steady. "To bond with me and unlock my powers, you must connect your spirit with mine. It will be a deep and sacred link." Alex felt a flutter of nerves, but also excitement. He had come this far. There was no turning back now. He focused on the queen, remembering her strength and grace. "I'm ready, Lyra. Let's do this together." As they stood together in front of the crystal, the warriors formed a protective barrier around them. Alara raised her weapon, signaling the group to prepare. "We will hold them off. You must focus on each other and the bond you are creating." Lyra took a deep breath, her eyes locked onto Alex's. "You need to trust me, and I need to trust you. Together, we can unleash the power that will protect our worlds." Alex nodded, feeling the warmth of her gaze. He reached out, taking her hands in his. As their fingers intertwined, a wave of energy surged between them. The crystal began to glow brighter, and a soft hum filled the air. "Close your eyes," Lyra whispered. "Feel our connection grow. Think of the strength you wish to share." As Alex closed his eyes, he envisioned a light surrounding them. He pictured the beautiful landscape of Vespera, the laughter of the warriors, and the fierce bond they shared. He felt Lyra's spirit intertwining with his, a warm glow igniting within him. Suddenly, Alex felt the energy shift. The bond deepened, and he could hear Lyra's voice clearly in his mind. "Together we can defeat the darkness. You are my strength, Alex." The warriors fought fiercely to protect the crystal, but they could sense the energy building. The Grathor soldiers hesitated, confused by the sudden surge of power. Alex and Lyra's bond was awakening something powerful within the crystal. "Now!" Alara shouted, seeing the opportunity. "Hold the line!" The warriors rallied, pushing back against the Grathor forces. Alex opened his eyes, seeing the glowing light surrounding him and Lyra. It felt like a force field protecting them. They stood united, their spirits linked, ready to unleash the energy of the ritual. "Focus on the light," Lyra urged, raising their joined hands toward the crystal. "Let it guide you." As they concentrated, the light brightened, illuminating the battlefield. The Grathor soldiers shielded their eyes, overwhelmed by the brilliance. Alex felt power coursing through him, stronger than he had ever known. "Now! Release it!" Lyra cried, and together they directed the energy toward the enemy. A wave of light surged forward, crashing into the Grathor forces. The ground shook, and the air crackled with energy as their bond transformed into a powerful force. The Grathor soldiers staggered back, fear and confusion written on their faces. Alex and Lyra stood tall, united by the light. They had ignited something extraordinary, a force that could change the fate of their worlds. The ritual had begun, and together they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As the last remnants of the Grathor forces fled from the dazzling wave of light, Alex and Lyra stood amidst the chaos, their hands still joined. The battlefield was now quiet, except for the distant sounds of victory cheers from the Vesperan warriors. The powerful bond they had created pulsed between them, a warm reminder of what they had achieved together. Lyra turned to Alex, her eyes shining with gratitude. "You did it, Alex! Together we pushed them back!" Her voice was filled with emotion, and Alex could feel her joy in his heart. The energy surrounding them began to settle, the bright light dimming to a gentle glow. "I couldn't have done it without you, Lyra," Alex replied, feeling a deep sense of connection to her. "We were stronger together." As they released their hands, a soft breeze swept through the courtyard, carrying the scent of blooming flowers. The air felt fresh and alive, a sign of new beginnings. The warriors gathered around them, cheers and laughter filling the space. Alara stepped forward, her face beaming with pride. "You have done something incredible today," she exclaimed, clasping Alex's shoulder. You've shown that humans and Vesperans can stand united against any threat. The Queen's bond with you has given us hope." Alex felt a blush creep up his cheeks. He had never expected to be in this position, admired by so many. "We fought together, and that's what made us strong," he said humbly. Lyra smiled, her heart swelling with pride for her new friends. "Today is not just a victory. It is the beginning of something new for both our worlds. Together we can create a future free from fear." The warriors cheered again, their voices echoing through the valley. They had faced great challenges, but now they could see the possibility of peace. As the celebrations continued, Alex took a moment to step away from the crowd. He gazed up at the sky, which was painted with hues of orange and purple as the sun began to set. He felt a mix of emotions, joy, relief, and even uncertainty about what lay ahead. Lyra approached him, her presence calming. "What troubles you, Alex?" she asked softly, sensing his inner conflict. "I'm just thinking about what happens next. We defeated the Grather today, but there are still challenges ahead," he admitted. "What if they come back? What if we're not ready?" Lyra placed a hand on his arm, her touch reassuring. "We will be ready. This bond we share has created a new strength in both our people. We have allies now, and together we can face anything." Her words filled him with hope, and he realized that he was no longer alone. They had formed a bond that would only grow stronger. "You're right. We can face whatever comes our way," he replied, a sense of determination rising within him. The warriors gathered around them, and Alara spoke up. "We need to prepare for what's next. The Grathor will not stay silent for long. We must unite our forces and train to protect our worlds." Alex nodded in agreement. "We can build a stronger alliance. I can help with strategies from Earth, and we can learn from each other." Lyra's eyes sparkled with excitement. "And we can hold regular meetings to discuss our plans and training. Together, we can create a defense that the Grathor will not be able to break." With renewed purpose, the group began to discuss their next steps. They planned training sessions and strategies to strengthen their forces. Each warrior shared their skills, eager to learn and grow stronger. As night fell, the sky filled with stars twinkling brightly above them. Alex felt a sense of belonging, surrounded by new friends and allies. He had come to Vespera as a stranger, but was now part of something much greater. The festivities continued late into the night, with laughter and music echoing through the air. They shared stories, danced, and celebrated their victory. Alex felt grateful for the bond he had formed with Lyra and the warriors. In the days that followed, Alex trained alongside the Vesperans. He learned their ways of fighting and shared his own knowledge of Earth. Together they grew stronger, preparing for whatever challenges awaited them. As the weeks passed, a new understanding blossomed between their worlds. Humans and Vesperans united in a common goal, to protect each other and build a future free from fear and conflict. Alex stood with Lyra at the edge of a cliff one day, overlooking the vast landscape. "This is just the beginning, isn't it?" he asked, feeling a sense of excitement for what lay ahead. "Yes, it is," Lyra replied, her gaze steady. "Together, we will create a legacy that will last for generations. We will show the universe that love and unity can conquer all." With hope in their hearts and strength in their bond, Alex and Lyra were ready to face whatever the future held. They had embarked on a journey that would change the course of their worlds forever, a new beginning, filled with possibilities and a promise of peace.